Anyway,
Yeah, sounds good.
Oh my gosh.
That's how you know it's Friday.
I'm just trying to picture Disney World in Norway where
well, he's
Yeah.
just using it as a term.
Just-
I know,
just
but I'm
as,
still hung
short
up on
hands.
it because I'm like,
Well,
picturing
I-
like
I-
Winnie the Pooh with an accent and all that business.
no, I want to go to Pillage Land. Can I go to
Yeah,
Pillage?
that's what this
I
is.
mean-
Basically, this is like pirate land. This is like, you celebrate pirates that go pillaging.
Okay, good. Excellent.
I
Keeping
That's
the
why
traditions
Norwegian
alive.
kids like it.
The
Yeah,
we
the,
ain't got
the
no
best
time.
the best part of this Norwegian Disneyland is that Frozen is actually really frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, well,
Actually, on the way there,
here's the real question. How are the wenches at Pirate Land?
Oh, they're so hot.
Oh, good. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
All right, that makes it
they're
all worth it.
So beautiful. But anyway, the funny thing is that Arendelle, the city in Frozen, that's a real Norwegian city, and it's
Whoa.
midway between where I live and this place. So I went for a pit stop there. So that's cool.
So glad you mentioned that.
Yeah. But anyway, enough about Norway. We have plenty of other things happening. The panel is all here. Chris Brawley came to join us from Bleeding
Woo,
Cool,
Chris!
something everyone should be checking out.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
glad to be here, even a few
We
minutes
also have
late.
Paul Chatto and Scribe Light. So good morning, guys.
Good
Beautiful.
morning. Happy Friday.
Nice
It
to
is
be
Friday.
Friday.
Paul, you
August
look very
1st.
relaxed.
I'm feeling extremely relaxed.
He ate some gummies.
I see. Oh, okay.
No, I got my
Still
Google
in his library today.
Yeah. Reclining, it almost looks like.
Ah.
Ah,
Hey, I'm wearing.
his study.
I'm actually on our Norwegian chair. Norwegian made.
This is just an international episode. My
That's right.
goodness.
Watch this.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Whoa. Whoa.
Is there a rating on this episode? Wait a second.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know what
I'm
the
still
difference
hung-
between the Norwegian and the Swedish chairs are?
Oh boy. Do tell.
Adult
Well,
rating?
the Swedish ones you have to assemble yourself.
Oh yeah.
Cute.
This Norwegian stuff already came assembled. It was very good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice. Very nice.
I don't know. I'm still just hung up on Norwegian Winnie the Pooh. Oh, bother. Somebody has
That's
come
Canadian.
and taken my...
Winnie the Pooh's Canadian.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Can I just do the joke?
No. You are denied by facts.
Yeah.
Being
Are we going to do a
technically
how
correct.
Norwegian are you test? Like do I have a duvet?
I want to hear
How
it.
much coffee
I
do
want
I
to hear
drink?
it. Come on, Tom.
Let's do Super Chats.
Oh, all right. I want to hear super chats.
Yeah, I got to get going. Do the super chats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do this.
Do the super chats. Where's my super chat?
Why
Well,
do you
there's-
need to know?
Well, there's Corbin Dowlis, been a member for 21 months, and we're glad to have you. Corbin
Like the
Dowlis
Pulp
is an awesome
Fiction,
hero that we all need.
Pulp Fiction Avatar.
And then we have Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle, who says for $10, now that a certain former VP has given up on running for governor of California, she can put her efforts to something more worthwhile, campaigning for a second season of The Acolyte.
She was on
Oh,
Cold
man.
Air last night.
She was
Like,
in
why? Like,
It will
Take
be
the
a
hint.
Democratic politician every night until the ratings go up.
well,
Well,
you see,
it's La Resistance, isn't it? So they have no
Yeah, that's
choice.
right. That's
Well,
exactly
you-
what
Is
it's
that
become.
saying the torture will continue until morale
Motivation or until
Improves.
morale
Well,
improves.
morale
Yeah.
improves.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
Yeah.
the beatings will continue.
well, you
Yeah,
see,
bro.
you have two overstuffed celebrities who both lost gigantic amounts of money for their respective organizations in their crusades against Trump. So they're practically sisters.
And she's selling a book now. So, I mean,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
107 days. 107 days. Yeah.
my gosh, what a historical document that's got to be.
Yeah, every page of that book represents about $5 million of burned Democratic fundraising money.
Soon to be a Netflix movie.
Oh yeah.
And there's going to be so many books in the next few years here, some of which actually are going to be pretty interesting when the
Perhaps.
tell all begins. Well, actually, they already
There's been
started.
a couple. There's been a couple so far. I've read at
Yeah,
least one
like
of them.
that white person spokeswoman, like Karen Jean-Pierre, whatever her name was. I mean, she's even doing a tell-all.
Yeah.
Sure.
Should be fun.
I would
But
like
what else is fun is carrying on with the super chat. So thank you, Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle, who also gifted 5
Oh.
memberships.
Hey.
So thanks and congrats to everyone who picked those up. Dr. Longdongler sent a £1.99 super sticker. So everyone,
sneak dog.
please smash that like. That would be most welcome. And then we have Miller 452 is his name today, who says for 35 South American rounds, Kurtzman's contract ended. 12 months until the hostage crisis ends if Skydance are smart. T-minus 7 days. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. What kind of leaks come out from the world of Star Trek. And then Mark Fields says for $4.99, hello, fun-loving panel, positive vibes to you all. Have a wonderful day. Well, thank you,
my
Mark
gosh.
Fields. And we wish all of you to have a wonderful day as well. Bucky Cat has also been a member for 28 months. And Jay Price, 62.98, with a good Norwegian and the picture right there, has been a member for 20 months. And DB Turing also gifted 5 Midnight's Edge memberships. So
Hey.
thanks so much for that. And Soul Nightmare says for $2, restart the F4 router. It keeps lagging. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with the box office for F4 over the course of the weekend here. But meanwhile, let's get into the topics of today. First one being, we also, well, most of us at least, saw a
I know.
movie. Paul, what movie have you seen recently?
Naked Gun. Yes, I saw the Naked Gun 2025, and I also immediately played Naked Gun 1988, just because I wanted to figure out why 2025 wasn't particularly funny.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm interesting. How did the older movies hold up, in your opinion, compared to the new one? I mean,
Well,
or not compared to, but in general, compared to itself. How was it still funny seeing it now? Because I still have to watch the original movies. I kind of like
What?
imagine they have passed their sell-by date.
Less so than Airplane. Airplane is not as funny now as when it first came out, but Naked Gun, especially the first one, it definitely is funny. And for a lot of good reasons, not the least of which is that it's I think it's a more familiar trope, the police procedural, than the disaster movie. Disaster movies have kind of gone away. There was a period of time where disaster movies, the Irwin Allen one in Towering Inferno, for instance, things like that. So it was a parody of those kinds of movies, whereas a police procedural, I think that's bred in our bone. We would know them in our sleep. And Naked Gun was just so funny. I rewatching the 1988 one, just to confirm in my mind, was it really, really funny? And I was howling within the first 16 minutes. Like I laughed more in the first 16 minutes rewatching that than the entire Liam Neeson one. And I know why. It's pretty clear. First of all, number one, gag movies are difficult because you can't repeat the gag from one movie to another. Once you've done the gag, you're kind of not allowed to repeat it,
Right.
Unless it's a gag that works because you're repeating it. Then that's a different kind of shtick. But there were rules in the Abrams Zucker movies, such as casting it correctly and seeing people like George Kennedy acting stupid. That's part of the joke. And unfortunately, there were only two people who I knew in this particular movie of that ilk. And you've got Liam Neeson, who I think did a pretty good job, not quite as good as Leslie Nielsen, who was way drier. Like I thought he was mugging quite a bit in his movies. No, not compared to Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson gave away quite a lot of the jokes, but he was good. I didn't mind him at all. Pamela Anderson is really the revelation. She nailed her role and played it as dry as Leslie Nielsen. I'd almost would have wanted to flip them, except then I would be accused of being a DEI specialist. But holy smokes, Pamela Anderson has got a sense of humor, and she made fun of her image without making fun of it. There was no winking nod. She was just fantastic. Wow. It's worth seeing the movie, just seeing how committed she is to that, to the role and making fun of her archetype. But the other thing too is with the Naked Gun movies, there's a rule, and that is you've got to hire washed up old actors. That's why Robert Goulet was in 2.5. I mean, absolutely the perfect bad guy. I didn't know who the bad guy was in this particular movie. I didn't
know.
Danny Houston? You don't know who Danny Houston is?
No idea.
Oh, really? You
Never
gotta be
seen
kidding
him.
me.
No,
That's
telling
John
you.
Houston's son. He's been acting for 50 years.
Hey, he's not Robert Goulet. He's not a cheese bag.
Wow.
No,
Okay.
you have to get a cheese bag actor.
Well, Danny Houston's got.
I think they did just that with Danny Houston. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I
No,
disagree
I don't
with
know
that
the actor.
wholeheartedly.
Never. I don't recognize him from anything.
Then you've never watched TV
No.
or a movie, man. What the
Fine,
hell?
fine, but he has no reputation.
No.
He's not Robert Goulet. Please, don't say he's Robert Goulet or Ricardo Montalban. You can't argue that. He's not.
In this
Danny
day and
Trejo.
age, he kind of is. Maybe not Goulet, but he's like that kind of a guy who he is.
Okay, I'll take your word for it, but I don't know him.
He's on
in X-Men movies
Succession,
and other
I
shit
think,
like that. Yeah.
but he
Yeah.
hasn't done any notable films. But Goulet really wasn't as big. You know, he did a lot of TV appearances and I think
Right.
some albums.
And he had that horrible black mustache that was.
Yeah, so there was a little bit of schmaltz in there with
Yeah.
Zach
I
No,
had
Kaz
no
Bag.
idea who Robert Goulet
Danny
was when
Houston.
I was a
I
kid.
recognize, but I couldn't name any movie.
George
other than-
George Kennedy was perfect. Robert Stack was perfect.
Yeah, Robert
Um,
Stack for sure.
Bridges.
Was it
was
funny
perfect.
anywhere? Was any of it funny? Did you laugh at
Yeah.
all?
Yeah,
Okay.
no. There's some mild humor. I think the biggest problem was that Liam Neeson was not paired up with an equal. The guy who was playing Hawkins' son, again, was a big nothing. They needed like John Goodman.
Yeah.
So Liam Neeson and John Goodman could play off each other. That was really part of the fun of Naked Gun, was to have
Can I
these
suggest
two classic.
one thing there? It wouldn't have helped if you had John Goodman if he was given the exact same script as this guy. Maybe he could have
agree.
done what you asked if the script had allowed it. To me, that wasn't a problem with chemistry or a problem with the actor, is that there weren't any of the scenes that you were asking. It wasn't in the script.
No, one of
That's the
the
issue.
styles. So two parts to the plot that was problematic. Number one, it was a global disaster plot, which I'm so fucking tired of. It was right out of. It would have been more appropriate for Austin Powers and the James Bond milieu than in the Naked Gun police procedural milieu. Sorry for the balloons. My hand gestures.
Well,
And-
but they also recycled it from Kingsman, the first Kingsman movie. It's
Oh.
literally the exact same plot.
Okay, but that's a James Bond thing, right? It's not.
Yeah.
It's not an LA. It's not an LA cop kind of story. So
Yeah,
and
no,
the other-
it's it's a
yeah. So
Save
the other
World
thing
story.
the other thing that made Naked Gun good was the police squad was always assigned ridiculously big assignments that were too big for them, that were prestigious. So when Drebin did something stupid, there was a monstrous amount of reaction and embarrassment to him. Like, the table scene with the queen where he's in between her legs and her legs are akimbo naked as they're sliding down the table. And in each of the movies, Drebin is put into a position where the enormity of the job, he does something ridiculously foolish, like being the umpire in the scene at the very end of Naked Gun. So it's really important to turn Drebin into a fool on a larger stage. The movie was very small. It felt like a streaming movie. The other thing that bothered me too was, not bothered me, but if you watch the original Naked Guns, they are shot beautifully. As the cinematography is like an old style Hollywood movie. This felt small, claustrophobic, didn't have the big scenes like in a baseball stadium, where Drebin was pretending to be an umpire and doing the stupid gags. And it wasn't part of the fun of Naked Gun is that it's juvenile. This wasn't juvenile. It was just dumb. And I make that distinction only as a professional comedian. It's hard to do juvenile well. This was just dumb. The entire opening sequence where he takes out a whole bunch of mercenaries, there was nothing funny in it. And he was biting guns. That was stupid. I mean, I didn't understand what was going on with that. It just didn't have that anarchic juvenile thing, which we talked about before the show, where in one of the scenes in one of the movies, George Kennedy goes in a sex shop and he's playing with the anal intruder. And he's not even a joke. I mean, Chris Brawley is laughing. He's smiling. There's none of that juvenile, embarrassing stuff in this movie, except for the one scene that was kind of cribbed from Austin Powers, the blowjob and dog mounting scene. But there wasn't enough of that. And if you notice, the Naked Gun movies are filled with people reacting to each other and reacting to Drebin. And this movie did not have enough reaction from normal people, because that is also how you get humor out of these kinds of things. When you do something stupid and people are going, what? Like the peeing scene in the first movie where Drebin leaves the wireless mic on at the press conference for Police Squad being assigned to protect the Queen of England. And he goes into the men's room and just has this extended pee with just grunting and groaning. And it's juvenile. And I was just killing myself last night. And then
they had the exact same joke with the burrito. They had the exact same joke with the hot dogs in the body cam.
The thing about the Naked Gun movies that I always liked, or that made the humor.
I just want to add to the body cam. The body cam was one of the funniest scenes in the movie because you had outside people reacting to Drebin's incontinence problems.
Right.
That's what I was saying. It's basically the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing was that there was always, it always felt like in the original movies that the characters we're watching kind of existed in this bubble of unreality, but there were always adults in the room watching them and shaming them for their actions.
Okay, and here's the difference between the movies and the show, and this is what people forget. The TV show takes place in the same universe as Airplane, where everybody is in on the joke. There isn't one single straight person in the whole movie. They're all doing the same thing, right? Same thing with the original Police Squad show. The entire world is in on the joke. And this is what I said when this trailer first dropped. I said the big difference between the movies and the TV show was that the movies take place in a world where the Police Squad was literally plucked out of their world and put into real LA, right? Like that's the difference. And that's what Paul is talking about. See, and that's where I have a little bit of kind of with the movies, where I enjoyed the movies, but to me, I grew up on Police Squad. So to me, that was the original show. And then when the movie came out, that was just basically like a greatest hits of Police Squad. But like I said, the big difference is it was in the real world instead of being in the Police Squad world. And that's kind of where we're in between here. And that's what I didn't quite get with this movie. It's like, are we in this movie world where it was the real world is reacting to the stupidness of Frank Drebin? or is this world the airplane world again, where everybody is stupid, right? Because that's the thing. Like, you have great dialogue scenes in the original Police Squad where it's just back and forth, like they're both playing in on the jokes, right? Like,
It's Dragnet.
Don't call me Shirley stuff. Yeah.
It's Dragnet.
So
And
he
here
did-
it's a little bit more, it's more like making fun of the movies, right? And that's the other thing I was trying to say, Paul, and I was goofing around in the chat, is like, you did forget that in, like, I think the second and third one, they're like world-ending events that Frank has to stop, if I remember correctly.
It's not world ending. It
Well,
has
it's enough that's
implications.
world affecting. Yeah, it's this very similar plot, and the second one is just eco.
Well, the third one is blowing up the Academy Awards ceremony.
Yes, and then the second one, though, is that eco thing.
The climate change one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't a stupid device that was going to turn people into zombies.
I'm
It's-
sorry, I loved the plot device.
No, I thought that was funny too, but I didn't like the plot device.
Yeah, no, again, and this is what was ripped straight out of the original Kingsman. Which
So,
is that
yeah.
literally the exact
worth
same.
going to at all, Paul? Because I mean, friend
Yeah.
of the show, Christian
on Tuesday.
Toto liked it and said it kind of throws more dirt on woke a little bit with the male gaze jokes. I mean, I don't know. Just
There
wanted
is
to
a
know.
bit of a mixed thing with the. Here's the thing: I can see some people drawing some Trump parallels with the bad guy, but the movie's so absurd.
Oh no,
but
no,
I don't
couldn't-
think it
couldn't do
matters.
that.
I mean, no,
I-
it's
I-
not really woke at all.
Yeah, I didn't get that at all.
No,
I
no,
mean,
no, I'm
not
saying
for
Christian
one
Toto says-
moment.
Christian
Well, we have
Toto's-
like he wants to go back to the old ways, like make America great again.
yeah.
No,
Yeah, but who doesn't? I was
I know,
was
I
thinking
get
of
it.
that.
We think that way, but they are making him the bad guy, right, Andre?
Yeah.
You got, again, like I remind you guys, you got to think like this. The fucking wokes think,
Yeah.
right?
Because
Yeah,
I
sure,
was
we'll-
thinking
we'll-
that when I was doing the video that we dropped earlier today on the Sydney Sweeney thing, where you had this article in MSNBC, which complained that the American Eagle ad was a throwback to the dark, evil ages of the late 90s and early 2000s, which to the rest of us normal people is the height of civilization.
Yeah.
Something you absolutely would want to go back to.
Or basically when George W. Bush was president.
Well, I mean, the progressives believe that athletes with lady penises is a done deal, and they should be allowed to, revel in women's sports and in women's spaces. They actually thought that that's a done deal, and they're moving on from that. And a lot of people are obviously revolting. Or going back to normal, let's call it. So, I mean, the whole idea that this guy wants to bring back the men's club, essentially. I didn't quite. Maybe there is a reference in there. It didn't. I was too concentrating on trying to laugh.
Well, so you saw two comedies this week: Happy Gilmore 2 and Naked Gun.
Yes.
If Happy Gilmore 2 had been in theaters rather than on Netflix, would you have preferred to? Which one would you have preferred to see in the theater?
Happy Gilmore had more all-out laughs.
Okay, so it wasn't just big dumb comedy in Naked Gun for you. Get in, get out, be funny, see ya.
It just wasn't done right.
Not zany enough, or
Well, the thing is, if you take a look at the first set piece, which is him coming in as that little girl, takes off the mask, and then beats everybody up, I would have directed have him come in as the little girl, take off the mask. Fine, that's kind of a fun gag. But then the actual fight scene, the one-man army thing, apart from the bowling moment where he kicks one guy, knocks down 5 other guys with a bowling pin sound effect, which was like massively lame. You can't tell me that someone who knew how to do a John Wick scene couldn't have turned that into just a hilarious parody of John Wick or any of that. I mean, what a lost opportunity on having fun with the one-man army bullshit, right?
Yeah,
especially given Liam Neeson's recent series of films like Taken and so on, where he's the one-man army.
Yeah. So why not make take a scene right out of Taken and make fun of it?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of what they're doing because he gets set up, right?
Anyway,
I mean, that's in all the trailers. It's not a spoiler. Like,
sure.
I've heard
in
it,
the trailer, but you
I've
can't
heard it
tell me,
doesn't
Tom,
look
that
good.
that scene couldn't have been funnier.
yeah.
oh yeah, could this movie have been funnier? Sure, but I mean, basically, I guess I might as well just give my review.
Sure, you
then
do your
and go to
review.
Andre,
I'm done.
because
Yeah, go
you've
for
been
it.
talking for like 20 minutes.
Sorry.
Uh, anyhow,
I feel emotional.
no, I mean, I wasn't expecting a whole lot out of it. I was kind of like in the middle of this, like with my expectations, because, like I just said a little bit ago, I'm more of a fan of the TV show than I ever was of the films. And when I found out, what they did to Abrams and Zucker, as far as like carving them out of this whole situation and doing Seth MacFarlane's Naked Gun, basically, he's not the director, but he is influential on it.
producer.
I don't know if he wrote it, he produced it. I know that. And it does have kind of his sense of humor in some aspects of it.
Well, look at
there
the
is-
snowman theme. It's right out of Ted.
Yes.
Yeah, like, I mean, there's a lot of that kind of shit. But at the same time, I found myself enjoying it a lot more than I expected myself to. And I didn't see a lot of the flaws you did. I'm not saying it's perfect. There's a lot of missed opportunities. I was more impressed with the fact that you could still make a movie like this work, right? Because we've been in a world where the not another teen movies and not another this and that movies and Meet the That movies, the Spartans and all those kind of movies and the scary movies have kind of drove this type of genre into the ground. And
But
it
you needed movies to make fun of to make those. Let me point out one moment which to me proved that they did not understand the Zucker-Abrams-Zucker formula. And that is when the Offspring of Nordberg, where they did that gag where he's looking at a picture of his dad and doesn't want to comment on it, right? Or you remember that moment. It's also in the trailer.
Yeah. It's also in the
Yeah.
trailers.
Right. So if this was the Zucker brothers and Abrams, even if it was just that one moment in the movie, it would have been a black sports celebrity, not a nobody. It would have been LeBron James, or even better, Serena Williams, because they always worked with celebrities and cameos and things like that in their movie. That would have been much funnier, even though that moment was funny. They didn't understand the formula. The formula required like LeBron James to really sell that gag. That's why
Michael Jordan.
Yes.
Michael Jordan. They need
Michael
Michael Jordan. Do some Space Jam stuff going on there.
Exactly right. So that to me proved they didn't understand the formula.
I don't disagree with you there, but I think only one of those jokes ended up making the final cut. Because what's funny is I remember talking to somebody who saw it a little while back, and they had said that there was a few jokes for OJ, and one of them was one of the ones that landed the best. So I'm surprised it didn't make the movie, because I highly doubt it was that one, because that one was in the early trailers.
Right.
So there had to be at least 2 or 3 more that didn't make the cut.
I'm sure.
Because that character gets like they only get that one scene, I think, from my memory. I'm trying to remember if they get any more.
No, that's all. I don't recall anything else.
Even
I
his
was
partner
surprised
kind
that
of gets the
Nordberg
shaft in the
wasn't in it.
movie.
Yeah, I was surprised that Nordberg Jr. wasn't in there at all, but I can also understand why.
Yeah.
The Cosby joke, yeah. I mean, there were some good jokes in here, but like,
Yeah.
again, I look, this movie, I have a hard time wanting to dislike it at all, because I did like it. I had fun. I laughed quite a bit through it. Is it? I don't want to put it on a pedestal of like, oh, this is right up there with the best of the best. But like, honestly, I would say for me personally, it's the better of the sequels. Like, is the first Naked Gun better? Absolutely. But it's probably better than 2 or 3. Because I could barely get through those. In that respect, I think a lot of people will have fun with it. I don't know how it did last night for previews, but
I do. We have box office.
okay, I was curious if it
the
had come out
movie
yet.
did.
So Andre, you've seen it as well, so let's get your reaction.
Yeah, get
I didn't
your
know you were
review.
human enough to see a comedy, but
Yeah. Well, first, I remember seeing the original movies when I was a kid back in the 90s when they came out. I actually still have to watch the original Police Squad series. I have it. I just haven't gotten around to seeing it. Honestly, I thought I had more time before the movie was suddenly upon me. But I have to rewatch it all. or in the case of Police Squad, watch it all for the first time. I thought that the movie was overall fun. I chuckled a few times, never laughed out loud. It's not as fun as I remember the original movie to be, but then I also wonder if I were to rewatch the original right now, how funny would I find that? Has it like reached its use by or sell by date? I don't know. According to Paul, it's fantastic. Glad to hear it. Still, I do appreciate kind of like a return to more slapstick humor. I think it's kind of like the right movie at the right time. I have some reservations about the creative choices, as both of you have touched on before, especially what Paul said about the casting. It's not really the casting. The casting I thought was fine. It's just that some characters, like the rest of the squad, really are given the shaft. They're not given any scenes where they can shine or have like any great interaction with Drebin. Maybe such scenes were filmed but ended up on the cutting room floor. I don't know. Either way, that is something I would have liked to see more of, especially the son of O.J. Simpson. I'm not surprised to learn that that they cut some jokes, but I certainly would have liked to seen them. And also the thing with the Bill Cosby joke, I was like, to me that would have landed better since they spat out his drink if it had been R. Kelly. But hey, that's me.
Well, no, the Cosby joke was when Danny Houston was with Pamela Anderson, and he's like, "You like the wine?" And she's like, "Oh yes, it's great." She goes, "It's from Bill Cosby's personal vintage," and she just nods off. Yeah,
yeah. That's
now,
what I mean.
I'm trying to remember. Did the man's laughter joke even make it into the movie?
Yes.
Okay, there was some bits I think that were in the trailer that didn't make it, because for you guys want to know, like, that's the one best part about this movie. It is a quick 85-minute movie in and out. Like, they do not piss around. It is fast and furious as far as, and that's a good thing. Like that, it has that over Happy Gilmore and Spades as far as like not fucking around with the running time, because Happy Gilmore takes its sweet ass time to get through it. But I don't know if you saw that one yet, Andre, because we haven't had a chance to ask you about that.
No, I haven't seen it. I have not seen Happy Gilmore. But anyway, if we go into the private chat, unless anyone else wants to say anything about the movie proper, there we have some box office.
Oh my god!
Because I made sure to actually get Thursday numbers. Thursday previews were won by the animated Bad Guys 2. But then we have Naked Gun, which of course we don't have the actuals in yet, but estimates say 1.6 million, which would have been absolutely dreadful if this was like a Marvel movie or something like that. But this didn't have a Marvel movie budget.
No, it was only like 45 million, I think.
Million, that might be. How much you said the budget was?
I remember reading, I think 45 million.
Oh, 45, good. I thought you said 85 for a second. I was like, how the hell did they manage to spend that on this? I mean, even 45, I mean, that sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
But still, it's on track to do 1.6 million on Thursday, which is for the budget seems to be right where it's supposed to, I guess.
I was gonna say I'd be more worried if I was the people behind Bad Guys, because that's not very good.
No, that movie did cost more like a Marvel production.
Yeah, I think the Bad Guys 2 is gonna do okay this weekend. I don't think it'll beat Superman.
True.
I think Fantastic Four and Superman are going to do fine, but next weekend is Disney's Freakier Friday, which I feel like Bad Guys 2 will probably keep doing better than that.
I think it's going to do okay, but I don't think if they had a counter programming movie for next weekend, that'd be the weekend to drop it. Or maybe Naked Gun will have legs.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no front loading on the Naked Gun movie.
Right.
Like a Marvel or DC movie. But what's really had legs and has surprised me that it's still doing okay is Jurassic Park Afterbirth.
Kids like that kind of crap.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I think it's doing okay. I'm surprised it feels like a three-way contest between Superman, Fantastic Four,
which is
Jurassic
funny.
Park.
It's not going to last much longer because Jurassic World comes out on PVOD this week. So.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
and now there's rumor and talk. It's not so much rumor anymore because the Amazon has it listed for Superman to come out on August 15th on PVOD.
Okay.
I don't know if that's been confirmed yet, because James Gunn just about a week ago said that it would not be out on streaming before Peacemaker season 2, unless he just meant on HBO Max, because this is actually bringing it back under a 45-day window, which is strange, especially when I was being told by multiple people that it would be held out longer. So I don't know what Warner Brothers is thinking, unless they're trying to cash in on it now with PVOD, which could very well be, because they do make a nice little chunk off that. That's kind of the nugget they used to make off of video, is kind of where that comes from now. But I have been hearing that Warner Brothers is getting back more into home video, so keep that in mind as well. But that's neither here nor there. So I think for Naked Gun, if it can pull off anywhere over $15 or $20 million this weekend, that's a huge win for that movie.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because that means it's definitely going to leg out enough to make its money back, at least in the box office. And it will probably do very well on video. Because that's the thing with these movies, is they get to sell them every time with, the other movies. Because what movie was it more recently? Mission Impossible, another Paramount feature, no less, where they were talking about, oh, well, the box office isn't such a big deal because we get to resell this movie time and time again with the other films. So it's just added value they looking at it as added value to the other film. So I don't know if that's.
Yeah, but there's, I think there's a problem when a prestige film doesn't perform as a prestige film. It ruins your reputation.
Oh, I agree.
Somewhere down the road, you can't just slough that off.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Are you guys hearing anything about Together, that new body horror movie that comes out this weekend?
I've seen some previews for it and some little reviews, but there's that and Weapons coming out next week. That's going to be, I think, the sleeper horror flick of the year, I think.
I saw a scene yesterday for Weapons that looked weird, but I mean, it just kind of, what I saw only reminded me of 28 Days Later. I mean, I don't know.
Here's one thing that I think is kind of interesting about this, because we were talking a little bit about this with Happy Gilmore, because of how many people saw that on Netflix. And we even, cut that in less than half and did some fuzzy math and did the ticket sales on that.
Yeah.
But then again, here's kind of what I was talking about is I said we'd have an idea if it would have really done that, because I don't know. See, now you drop this Naked Gun on Paramount Plus as a premiere. I bet you it turns out to be their biggest premiere of history.
Probably.
But now you put it in theaters, people are a little more reluctant. And I think this is kind of the thing. Are we at a point now where people are only going to go to theaters for things that they know that seem like a premium kind of thing now? Do you think that might be?
That's where we're heading.
Yeah, I think that's where we are. I think,
and like I said, this Naked Gun looks like a streaming movie. It's not directed like the first one. The cinematography doesn't even, there's no comparison.
Well, this is a problem with digital cinema, period. Right?
True.
We've talked about this in many cases. I mean, unless a movie is shot on film and finished on film, you can still show it in a digital cinema and it'll look nice.
Yeah.
But when 99% of your movies are all shot with the same fucking cameras that you use on television shows, because they're all the same, DV 5K red cameras or whatever, they're all the same things they all use.
Yep.
Every Marvel show shot with the same type of cameras they use to shoot the movies. So that's why everything looks the same. And this is, I'm so sick.
I think some of that's true, Tom. I also think
it's
the lighting,
dingy, like
a good cinematographer
look,
and somebody that's good at lighting, though, can make a difference. And I've seen a lot
still,
of
I still have not seen anything that touches, even if you finish it in digital, shooting on film first.
Yeah.
There's a big difference.
No, I don't disagree, but I also think a lot of the problems with some of these movies just not looking very good is the lighting and cinematography.
I'm sure you can work around that. I'm not saying you can't, but that's the problem is you have the same people working on the same projects. So they're making them look all the same, whether it's a streaming show or a movie or what have you.
Well,
I will say about this movie is and I agree with you, Paul, is that it just feels like it was shot on DV cam like every fucking thing else.
I took lessons in cinematography, and one of the things that they don't do anymore, because it's time consuming, and if you watch the old classics, you will see that the set decor is just as important as the lighting. So independent of the fact that you might have lighting that is slash lighting, really the biggest problem with the digital camera is that it's way more sensitive than film. So
there's no fall off.
They're abusing the ability of digital to take in more info, so they don't light it as brightly, and they don't do interesting things like slashes. But if you watch a classic old movie and they put someone into a room, they will match the background to the skin color and eyes of the star. Now, I'm only talking about stars, not the regular actors. But if you have Ray Milland on one side and you have, some actress, pick one, and they're looking at, pardon me?
Doris Day,
let's say. And let's say each one of them requires a different additive color in the background to bring out the best in them.
Mm-hmm.
They will, if they put them in a room, they will literally put a different color and prop their backgrounds differently. So if one actor looks better with green dominant and another actor looks better with red dominant, and even if they're in the same room, they will prop them to make that actor. So when they do their cross ones, both of them look like stars.
Yep.
They don't do that anymore. No one is
secret
taught to look like a star.
Yeah.
It's a subtle thing, but it's one of the things that I learned about and was shocked. And that's all propping at the back. Why are those books green? Why are those books blue? It's the same fucking library.
Yeah.
Do you think it's laziness or just a completely
I know exactly
lost art?
what it is. I was just waiting for Paul to stop.
Just to shut up.
I'll tell you what it is. It's because they don't care anymore. It's because it's all done in flat fucking lighting. And that's the other thing. Because what you're talking about is the big difference between how film captures light compared to digital video. Digital video, you can light with a fucking candle.
Yeah.
One candle.
But
when
they
it comes
abuse
to
that
film,
is
you
my
have
point.
to do it.
Yeah.
It comes with a much more elaborate production, and you're 100% right. They used to actually shoot the actresses and the actors differently, or if it was a black actor compared to a white actor, they all had to care about all that stuff because of white balance and how the image would be soaked and all that kind of stuff with everything in the background. Now they don't care. They don't have people to give a shit. It was kind of refreshing to see Fantastic Four and Superman actually seem like they gave a shit about their production design. The only other movie that I could think about in recent years was Nosferatu, but that was also shot on film. See, so there's the difference. And I think that's where it makes a big difference. And I mean, Jurassic World was shot on film, and I think it looks better because of it. I mean, they've been starting to do it a little bit more, and I think that's the main reason is because they may not be able to put their finger on what the problem is yet, but they know it looks different when they shoot it on film compared to video. Now, as soon as they figure that out, they'll be able to get around it. But yeah.
They also didn't abuse back in the day depth of field. Now everything is 3 pixels deep. It's the eyeball and a nostril part, and then everything else is out of focus.
Well, that's because video doesn't have fall off. That's the problem. And I just like I was saying before.
Well, you'll see sometimes like the bokeh in the back is so pronounced. You're like, good grief, do they not see that? That's distracting.
And you don't know where you are in the scene when the bokeh is so heavy.
Yeah, that's right. One thing also on that on the box office, I don't know that anybody else is talking about this, but I should think Lucasfilm might be a little concerned to see Eddington, the star power of Pedro Pascal making a $50 million movie. If you're at the high end, 25 million at the low end, that's only brought in 2 weeks, $8 million. $8 million.
What's going to be sad is when they re-release Star Wars again, and that ends up making more money than probably the Mando movie will.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. I can't wait for the Mandalorian and Grogu press tour.
This movie should have been out 2 fucking years ago.
Yeah, he'll be.
Nobody is going to care by this Christmas.
Yeah, you're right, Tom.
Yeah,
you're right.
And now on the heels of the last season.
Yeah, that's exactly. They should have already been planning for that, but they needed to do the Acolyte. They needed to invest $250,000.
Problem is, no one even liked the last season.
That was another problem.
I mean, that killed the whole franchise.
And here's the thing we've all heard is that de facto this movie is basically what Jon Favreau was going to partially do with the last season.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what we've been hearing for a while. So like, yeah, it's more or less the makeup for him to, because they killed off his fucking show and made it a fucking girl
I
boss
also
show.
saw
as well.
that the Monday and Tuesday numbers for Fantastic Four were much lower than what Superman.
Oh yeah,
were the
it's
first.
not going to come where near.
It's
near
it's
Superman.
divin.
Yeah.
It's dived.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, seriously front loaded. So,
Well,
well,
it will be on streaming before you know it.
I
So with that, we had
Yeah,
another
I'm
bit
going to
of
wait till it's out
news.
on VHS.
We'll get into
I'm
it
gonna-
just
yeah,
a
me
moment.
too.
Yeah, VHS. You'll be waiting a while. Unless anybody had anything more to say about Naked Gun.
No, that's
Andre,
it.
what would you say for a rating, real quick? Would you recommend it?
Me?
Yeah, I would. In Norway, we casted dice, and I would give it 4 out of 6.
Okay.
That's not bad. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Paul, what would you give it?
6 out of 10, but a positive 6 out of 10.
I think I gave it 70 or 75 out of 100 on the criticalist score. So that's about.
So that's
70,
7 out of
right,
10.
Paul? Yeah, roughly. And we got Paulie, who I'm sure has seen it as well.
I have not.
You're looking like Reed Richards today. Look at you. Especially Pedro Reed Richards with that showing off your chesticles.
I'll take it as a compliment.
Yeah.
How you
Can
guys
you look
doing?
dour
Happy
and
Friday.
act like the weight of the
Good.
world is on your shoulders?
Ain't it always, fellas?
You know, the problem here, though, is you have too much facial hair.
Oh, well, my lady loves it, so that's why. it's
No,
there.
that's the problem. He insists on having this mustache and beard, yet he's Pedro Pascal, regardless of if I think he's even older than I am.
It's 50.
Yet his beard looks like a 13-year-old trying to fucking grow a goddamn beard.
Because he
It's
won't
so
shave
bad.
it. You got to shave it
Yeah.
first a few times. That's the
And hello
problem.
to everyone in the chat. I think it's a major faux pas.
Yeah.
If I could say that.
Oh, you
fellas.
did not like Naked Gun.
No.
Oh, you're talking about Pedro.
Pedro not shaving. I think it's. I think if you're an actor and you sign up for the role, you do the effing job.
Yes.
That's it, hands
Right.
down. And his reason was like, oh, I look like hell as Maxwell Lord, and I was like, no, you look like a character, which was the only interesting thing in that horrible film, in my
Right.
opinion.
Mhm.
In my
You're
opinion,
not wrong.
and I don't need to know, all that stuff. The thing of mystery with actors is, for the most part, gone, which is why I like actors. I'm like, I don't really know anything about them, Chato. Bring it on. Keep, that's good. Like even I had no idea Liam Neeson was funny. I love that.
So did you see the Naked Gun, and what did you think?
No, I haven't seen it. I saw.
Okay, sorry.
Rosa calls it the comedy of the year. She loved it. She loves that humor. So that review's up. But I did see Happy Gilmore too. So I think it should have been. I'm sorry, really fast. I do think Naked Gun should have debuted on streaming.
So you were saying, Scribe?
I was going to say on actors, it's like I appreciate actors where I can tell. What is that noise?
That's my dog.
It's his
Oh.
puppy.
Oh, okay.
Puppy
I thought
has a
I thought
breathing
Paul's
issue.
chair needed some WD-40 or something.
It is. We'll just say it's that. No.
No, I like actors where I can see them. Whatever role they're playing is so distinguished that is the role. And just as an example, like Pedro Pascal. Oh, the effort it would take to shave off my mustache. And I think about Christian Bale in The Machinist,
Or Vice.
where he he absolutely sacrifices his body and his health for the role. Like and that is an image that you'll never get out of your head. And whenever you think of The Machinist, it's that character. Christian Bale disappears.
Yep.
And then
But you
he's
can
that
you
character.
can use the same actor as for your example, Scribe.
Mm-hmm.
Pedro Pascal in Narcos and Freaky Tales.
Well, yeah,
this
he's done
guy-
it before.
This
He's done it
guy,
before. Yeah.
this guy is a character actor. The thing is that we know, he doesn't shut up like Oscar Isaac. Why is there no Oscar Isaac fatigue?
Yeah.
That guy is in everything. That guy, because he's an actor first. You don't hear about him. Anyways,
And I think the Star Wars thing with him and John Boyega kind of hurt his image a little bit. Because you notice he was kind of this guy who was going to be he was in like everything for a hot minute, and then all of a sudden he did kind of fall off after the Star Wars films. You would
Oscar
think
Isaac?
yeah. I mean, he's still doing stuff, But I remember he was a much
Frankenstein,
hotter between X-Men and some of the other stuff he was doing. It was like there was a hot minute where he was like the next big thing, it felt like, and then just kind of poof.
To me, yeah, in tracking his career, he's never stopped working. Maybe in the public. Maybe in the public, you're right, but
no, I mean he was like on his way to being a headliner, is what I meant.
Oh, he did Moon Knight. That took a lot of his time, and then he Frankenstein's coming out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
So,
that's true. That might be something that'll help push him back out there.
But I hear what you're saying. You're right. It screwed up a lot of careers if you're not Harrison Ford.
Well, and I bring that up because this is one thing that we always bring up, and I think it's true. And this kind of goes into what Paul was saying about the problem with the Naked Gun. And I don't disagree with him. I see what he's saying about having more celebrities. Like, yeah, I know who Danny Houston is, but you're not wrong. And I think the bigger problem here is you have this gap, you have this issue, is we have had now 10 years or so where they don't know how to make movie stars anymore, or we haven't really had any prominent movie stars. And these younger kids wouldn't even know who half these people are that you're mentioning, right? Like, that was what I was trying to say. Like, even as a kid, at that time, I didn't know who Robert Goulet was. It took me till I was a teenager to kind of figure out who the guy was. Right? Like, then I'm kind of like, okay, I've seen him about a dozen times now. I kind of get who he is. But like,
yeah,
this movie should have had more people. Like, John Goodman was a good example. Why? Because he's prominent enough in stuff still between the Connors and other things to where people recognize him. You need people on that caliber of a,
I agree. And because I saw Chato's video this morning, and you're saying you don't have a Montalban, you don't have a Goulet. And it's like, oh, okay. It's like, yeah, then those actors are out there. I mean, if you're going for that same cloth.
Well, and they mentioned Fergie twice, and they don't have Fergie in the movie. How do you do that?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Right? Like, that's
maybe they cut her out.
No, but that's my expectation from what Paul was saying and he's right. At some point, Fergie should show up.
Perfect.
Right?
Yeah, right.
That's
Come
the
in
whole
and
thing.
out. That's what Gilmore did really well. I mean, Antonio Banderas is very funny.
Oh yeah.
That would have been.
See, now he would have been a better bad guy maybe than Danny Houston because he's more recognizable. See, there's
absolutely,
where,
absolutely.
And
I love
if
Danny Houston.
Lee
You said you didn't know
Cleef
Danny
was alive,
Houston, Chato.
You know what a gag they missed? Maybe they had it and they cut it. Was Liam Neeson could have brought a gift to Pamela Anderson, and it's the bathing suit from Baywatch, and she just looks at him and goes, "Fuck you."
See, now
that would have been a
but
funny
kids
gag.
get that joke. See, that's
Doesn't
the
matter.
question. Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
I agree with you, Paul.
You pack a movie with as many gags as you possibly can, right? That's what you do. So that would have been funny. I'm going, why didn't they have a Baywatch bathing suit thing in there? Should have been in.
Or maybe someone would run by her wearing it, and she'd say, "Put some clothes on, Tart."
Yes,
or something.
yes.
I can't believe women would run around in something so skimpy like that.
Perfect.
Yes. No, you're right. You're 100% right.
Like
but for people to get the joke, they have to be aware of, and that's where I think there's this gap. And I'm not trying to make excuses for the movie, but I'm saying this because I know because on a corporate level, they are so fucking disconnected.
Yeah.
Right. I could go on a ton of soliloquies of how they're so disconnected from the public. And I think this movie is a good example of that, of how they forgot how to make these kind of movies. And the only reason it's as good as it is because you have somebody like maybe a Seth MacFarlane behind there who is a veteran, who knows how to do these things, has done it 20,000 times already.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think the problem is. And I agree with you that that's the one thing that might be missing from the movie is that the Naked Gun movies always felt like this celebration of these, kind of like you were saying, you get all these cameos in there. You might even get a musical performance from some well-known, celebrity like Wayne Newton or something like that.
Yes, perfect.
Exactly. But in this
Like
day and age,
but
that gets me to my main point. In this day and age, who the fuck is Wayne Newton now? Right? Who's
we
the
don't have
equivalent
them.
of that? That's my point. That's my point.
No, you do.
In my video was that do we have those Zamfir anymore? I mean,
I would disagree. I mean, you guys are quoting Doris Day. Listen, there's enough new talent out there where if they did their homework, like Tom was saying, because Happy Gilmore did, they're new and old people. You could have had a really good cameo.
Golfers have stars. We don't have them anymore in Hollywood.
Wait, say that again?
Pull in people like Drew Carey or just recognizable from like 90s sitcom stuff for these kids to go, oh, I remember that old dude or whatever.
No, I meant like I meant someone like a Sabrina Carpenter, a Selena Gomez.
Well, that's where a Fergie comes in. See, at
That's
least some
like,
celebrities
who the fuck
like
is Fergie,
that,
right? Do a new like
or
instead of
Selena
Fergie,
Gomez,
it's
or somebody
Sabrina.
like that.
It's Sabrina Carpenter. Sabrina Carpenter's hot right now. You know, of course, the typical one would have been Taylor Swift, but they're all interchangeable at this point. But they're all huge with the kids right now.
Yeah, but they have to be on a level, Paul, though, that to where not just the kids know them, but the adults know them too, Paulie. That's the thing.
Yes, Taylor
And that's
Swift.
what Paul.
That'd be a good one, Paulie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's all
Taylor
I'm saying
Swift
is that
level.
they're there.
Yeah.
Sabrina Carpenter's huge right now.
She's huge right now, but how many adults really know her? That's my thing.
And no
right?
one
Like,
knows Robert Goulet, bro.
No, but the
That-
equivalent
he's
is, and this
dead.
is what. Yes, the
I know him.
equivalent of that
We're
would be
friends
like a
on
Fergie
Facebook.
or somebody like that. Like we got what's his face in the one scene with the man's laughter scene. I mean, but that's about it. That's the closest we get to that, right? And I can't even remember which rapper that is. That's the problem. Was that Busta Rhymes or which one was that? I don't even remember anymore.
In the police in the
interrogation
police
scene, yeah.
interrogation room. I have no
Busta
idea. who
Rhymes.
it is.
It was, I can't remember which rapper it is, but it's one of them.
If it's
Busta
not
Rhymes.
if it's
That's
not
what I thought it was,
50
Busta
Cent,
Rhymes, yeah.
forget it.
Yeah, I a lot of these musicians, music artists, they all want to be actors. They all want little cameos. I mean, it would have been a slam dunk to get someone new and happening. This is to Chado's, critique, and I'm happy to hear that Pamela Anderson knocked it out. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, Gene Simmons would have been funny as the bad guys, except he
Agreed.
can't act.
Yep.
That's the
Yeah, but
point.
that's the sad. Yeah, Kiss is about the equivalent of what Robert Goulet was then.
Gotta get over to the Kiss Nation and buy a T-shirt.
And they can drop, some funny jokes about some Kiss jokes that maybe you don't get.
Or he's saying, why the fuck don't they recognize me without my makeup? I gotta go, guys.
Bye,
All right,
Paul.
Paul.
Have
See,
a wonderful
Paul.
weekend. Thank you for letting me rant, Tom. I will. I'll see you later. Bye, everyone, and hopefully see you on Monday.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Have a great weekend. Thanks for joining us.
All right, so let's grab some super chats and see if there's any other topics we need to get through. Mark Fields says that Chris is awesome. Yes, he is, but I think he might be secretly a supervillain. And then we have
Both.
you look like one. I just say. Akmano, I think is how you say that. Says very happy to hear. I think here, Naked Gun is really good. World is healing. Yeah, I think that's part of it. Jeremiah Hembry's in the house. It says, "Wow, Superman is going to beat Fantastic Four. So what we can say is Marvel is shit." Well, here's the thing. I think Marvel's going to do. After thinking about it, I don't know if they'll end up leaving Fantastic Four in theaters until like October. You watch, just to try and milk that box office as much as they possibly can. You want to know why I say that? Because there ain't another Marvel movie coming out till Spider-Man next year.
That's right.
Mhm.
Maybe they'll put it out with some extended scenes.
Well,
It's
they
got to
got to
hit
compete.
500 million, man.
I got a little
They got-
intel for you guys.
So I was going to say they got to.
No, it's just
They got to compete
box
with
office
the,
numbers. No,
well, they got to compete with the actual Spider-Man movies being re-released, and the second one being released finally in the Spider-Man 2.1 or whatever version in theaters.
Man. It's happening.
So won't be that something if like those Spider-Man releases do better than like Fantastic Four or even Superman. That would be crazy.
Oh my gosh.
But you were saying about the box office, Paulie?
Oh, it's in the private chat. Looks like your prediction is going to come out. They're predicting 16 to 20 million for Naked Gun. 1.6 million Thursday night previews. So that 3-day weekend could be in the cards. And then I just put up Fantastic Four. But yeah, like you were saying, Tom, anything over 15 million would be considered really well, or what?
I think it'll be a success. Well, yeah, for a comedy like this with a $45 million budget, if it musters up more than 15 million, that's good. I'm sure they would wish it would do better, but that's at least on the way to being profitable and being successful enough to be a boost when it drops on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, I think if anything too, kind of like what Superman was doing, is that it's getting everyone to watch the catalog of Man of Steel and everything on HBO Max, I could see that happen with the Naked Gun movies. Everyone, everyone's kind of tunneling back and watching those old ones.
See, and that's what the studios need to do instead of trying to push the new movie to the streaming so fast. Sit up there and bolster your old stuff, because that's what they used to do when a movie would come out. That's what I used to love, was I would knew when like a new Hulk movie or Spider-Man movie would come out, I would be like chomping at the bit because I'd be like, oh, are we going to get, the 60s animated Spider-Man and stuff like that? Because we would usually get those kind of things they would try to cash in on, and a new version of something coming out. Now it's almost like they felt like they were embarrassed of the old stuff for the longest time. But at least Warner Brothers is one of the few that are embracing when they do this. They'll drop all their other stuff and they notice there's a boost with it, right? Like the original Superman films are doing really, really well, and so is Man of Steel and some of the other stuff that's
it was
on HBO
Man
Max,
of Steel was on HBO Max at number 4 for the last couple of weeks on movies.
And I think the first movie even did better than that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious because they're going to re-release the Tim Burton Batman movies in the theaters here for a brief run, and I'm very, given what happened with the Revenge of the Sith brief run, I'm curious to see what kind of box office those two movies bring in, just for comparison's sake.
Well, I think they'll do all right. I mean, I think it's going to be depending on how they're released, because some of these are going to be Fathom, because there's a bunch of these coming up here. Some of them are going to be Fathom events. Some of them are going to be IMAX specials. Because there was a story just last week that dropped about how the theaters are filling the gaps coming up here, because there's going to be some gaps. Because like we tried to warn people during the COVID stuff coming up, we're going to see this stuff once in a while. And this is why we weren't so sure why they were cramming all these big movies together this summer. Because I'm sitting here scratching my head going, you ain't got shit for fall. Why didn't you spread these out a little bit? You could have had one of them come out early in the year, one of them come out in the middle of the July, and then held off like Fantastic Four until like the end of August or something like that. I know that's not ideal, but at least you're giving yourself a chance. This is the first time in a long time where studios could have staggered stuff and not really had to compete with each other. Like, I honestly would say that I think Superman and Fantastic Four kind of cannibalized each other. Had they spread them out from, I don't think either one of them would be doing as bad. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree, but I think right now the problem is there's too much option, and in a month or so, there's not going to be as much options. So you're going to have movies like the Batman re-release and all these other re-releases coming out. Jaws, is going to be on
my only
IMAX
problem
screens
with
and stuff.
that. My only problem with that is a lot of the kids are going to be back in school like in 2-3 weeks.
I get
They
that.
know
That's
this.
where I said it's not ideal, but
Right.
or
Well-
they should have said, you know what they should have done, even though they got stupid Star Wars coming out this Christmas, they should have fucking flip-flopped them, and they probably would have done better, but that's just me.
Yeah, Fantastic
Had Star Wars
Four
come
at
out
Christmas.
this summer, and
maybe.
Because
And bring
when
your
I think of Star Wars, I
back
think
up
of
to the
May.
May release. Do the
Hey,
May
that's what I was
before.
just saying. Yes.
I mean, marketing's so weird, and as far as dates and trending and everything. But I think that with Minecraft handing it off to Lilo, handing it off to Jurassic, handing it off to Superman, and that whole relay, it only has helped Fantastic Four. I don't think Fantastic Four even do this well without those movies, because
Maybe.
like I said before, it got all of us going back to the movie theaters.
Kind of primed the pump a little bit.
I see what you're saying, Paulie. Had Superman not done as well, then yeah, you're probably right.
And Superman's doing great without, despite all the competition. I think I still say it's a feel good, movie this summer. I think Fantastic Four was doing well with families. We'll see how the second weekend drop off, but yesterday it actually did better than expected. But I'm also thinking, Chris, it's like let's all let's wait till the end of August, and I'm curious to see the ledger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think it's good for movie going, man.
We'll see how it.
I just hope they're not overspending. That's my worry. It's because it feels like there's just less money being spent at the movies by people. Fewer people are going. It is a great experience, and I do think I don't know if it was you, Tom, but somebody was saying something about it needing to be sort of a special event for me to go to the movies rather than sitting on my couch to watch it on streaming.
Well, that was kind of what I was asking about. Yeah, Happy Gilmore.
I
And
just
Naked
think,
Gun.
you know, that people have been trained. I know I hate to keep bringing up COVID, but I think that really sort of retrained a lot of people to not want to go. I know a guy that him and his wife finally went to see Superman. It's the only other movie they've gone to the theaters to see since except for Spider-Man No Way Home, because it was a big deal to them. He's a big comic book movie nut, right? And so I think people are just being a little more discerning, and maybe as part of that decision to go to the theaters a little less, or for it to be something special, a lot of people may wait around and say, well, let me see what the reviews are saying. Let me see what my friends are saying. So I think you've got some people that are saying, oh yeah, I really enjoyed Superman. It surprised me. And then those people that might've been holding back or maybe decided to go see Jurassic Park, they're going to say, yeah, well, we had fun at Jurassic Park. Let's go see Superman this weekend or whatever. Right. Cause it was like, that was a fun thing to do. And I agree with Paulie. It just kind of primes the pump with these bigger movies coming along and people wanting to get back to theaters.
And I think it's going to take Warner Brothers and Disney and, well, of course, there's only a few studios left, so all of the studios, but mainly the two big ones.
Yeah.
To kind of say enough's enough. We're only going to do, you know, at minimum 45-day window, unless it's like some kind of flop that falls below some kind of threshold. And they got to start making it the norm again. It's their own fault. They need. This is where I'm kind of confused with Superman, because I was being told from all over that they were going to try to hold it out as long as they could.
Oh yeah.
All of a sudden, it's being dropped on PVOD. I have an inclination as to why I know why it is, but I don't even want to say why, because I think it'll hurt the movie. And it has nothing to do with the quality of the film. Let's just say that there may be a version out there somewhere that people have already gotten their hands on. So I think Warner Brothers found that out.
I've heard end of August.
Yeah, well, August 15th is the date that Prime posted the other day. The same day, let's just say a version leaked online.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I think they got.
Is it the theatrical release version or a different one?
No, it's a decent fucking copy.
Okay, right on.
It's obviously it's not a cam. It's straight from a file
and
source.
F1's coming back to IMAX this month.
Yeah, right? And I mean, I'm not trying to say somebody's sabotaging Superman. I'm just saying that all this seems very like all of a sudden this happens and then they're like, fuck. So they probably just decide, fuck it, let's just put it on PVOD.
I think you're right. There's probably something to that, Tom.
Because I'll tell you, I know Warner Brothers listens a lot more than you think, and they're actually trying to change a lot of shit behind the scenes.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. I'm hoping that change results in sort of a return to physical media again. We've got an article on Bleeding Full right now about
they are trying to do that. Yes.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers knows they fucked up.
They could just do pre-orders. Media. You could do pre-orders for like these things and probably shoot them through the roof. Then you'll know if you'll hit your MOQ and release it or not. I mean, almost do it like crowdfunding if you want. I don't care. I think it'd be cool.
Here's an example. I just found this out last night, and we're doing something different that's related to this. But somebody was from Warner Brothers home video department was on CHH podcast, the Christian Horror over there, and he was talking about how the reason the Nightmare on Elm Street box set got delayed a year, because it was supposed to be out last year, is because the home video guys were fighting against them on their shitty fucking packaging they were going to do. So a whole year got delayed just because they had to force. They did a deal with Warner. They're like, look, do it this way. Put out this version and then put out the steelbook with this version and see which one sells better. And the one that sold better, obviously. So that's how we won the war on that one. So Warner Brothers is finally coming around because these guys had to finally drag them, by their ears and go, look, this is why Warner Archive is doing so well. Let us do this shit.
Yeah.
Because if you haven't noticed, Warner Brothers and this guy said the same thing. They have the worst fucking packaging out there. And they get burned constantly because of it. It's because they have some intern probably putting it together in the fucking marketing department. Right? It's
like they're told to do it as cheaply as possible.
Well, no, here's why. You want to know why? Because they don't think classic art will sell. They think that, and this is why I was kind of getting at with the Naked Gun, and this is where I'm like, trying to say with Paul, like, who do you have now that these kids recognize? Because this is the way the studios think.
Yeah.
the kids don't like old stuff. They don't get into old stuff, and they don't want to put the old posters and old versions of things out there because they want to make it look new and, you know, spiced up with fucking Photoshop and all that.
I totally agree with you. And when they do, it's when they go back and find it authentically. Maybe, you know, because off the new Naked Gun, you know, they'll go check out the, you know, the ones on streaming. But yeah, that's interesting.
I think they will have a boost, and I think that that's just the way I think they have programmed themselves to think, and they need to get out of that mentality, because we're at a time where this is one of the first generations that really embraces the past, because they don't have anything that's their own. I mean, my kid,
I know
all
you
his
brought
favorite
that up
bands,
a lot. I don't know if I
favorite,
totally agree with you on that one, though.
They don't really, though. Tell me one thing that these kids have that is theirs. Minecraft was the first thing that I saw.
Okay, what are the years
that
you're giving me? What are the years you're giving me?
I'm talking about kids between the ages of like 20 and under, right? Or maybe even 25 and under. You can maybe even go to 30 and under. That's what I'm saying. The last,
if you're doing 30 and under, then you definitely have Harry Potter.
That's what I was just gonna say. The last new thing that kids really have was Harry Potter, and that was my kid when he was, even before he was born, technically.
And then you have The Conjuring for horror.
Yeah, but that's not even a kid thing, though. That's more of a.
But you said under 30, and we're watching. You know, kids are watching horror in their teens.
Fair. All right, I'll let you have that one. But that's what I'm saying, though. Outside of that, and John Wick was the only other one I could think of.
And
I think that's why that anime was so massively popular.
Right. And
what's it called again? The one with the kid with the hat. One Piece. Yes,
One Piece. Yeah, I was gonna say and then on Netflix or the streaming, what were the big ones?
But you know how old One Piece is, but that goes right to my fucking point, because you're not wrong. They've turned to anime and manga, but all that stuff is 30 or 40 years old too, or more.
I got one more for you. Stranger Things.
Yeah. And all of that can be counted.
Yeah.
And all of that can be counted on one hand.
Exactly my point. And then not only that, like I said, with Stranger Things, that's a fucking throwback. So does that even count? That would be like me saying that.
Yeah.
Well, that would be like me saying Happy Days is something that I had as a kid. Like, I mean, to me, it's like, do I really consider that? I don't know. That's more or less paying homage to my dad's generation. But
I'm not arguing that it's less than. It's definitely less than what we had in the 80s and 90s.
Oh God, we have everything, and that's why they keep copying us.
Well, that's why Wednesday is so huge. Addams Family.
Well, and that's actually technically my dad's.
That's actually technically the 60s. Correct.
Yeah.
Nuts.
But the 80s alone, look at Naked Gun. I mean, that's an 80s franchise. Police Squad came
Beverly
out
Hills
in the 80s.
Cop,
and
Beverly
Hills Cop. Happy Gilmore was 90s, early 90s. I mean, 80s and 90s had it.
Pink Panther reboot. Come on, guys.
Well, that was 60s, but yeah.
Well, it's the glut, isn't it? Is that there's there used to be 4 networks, and you had 2 or 3 different major studios and theaters in town, and the options available to everybody were very limited. So everybody had similar experiences simply because they were the only shop in town. And now, because of streaming, because of Redbox, because of the internet and social media, you have YouTube stars who have. I'm always struck by this, even though I shouldn't be at this point. I'll see some little documentary put on by some YouTube channel that says the downfall of XYZ PDQ, and it'd be like this YouTuber who had 5 million subscribers and has been working for 10 years. I'll be sitting there going like, I have never heard of this person, but this person apparently was important enough to enough people for the last decade that now there's a whole documentary about them, which means that everything is so granular now, there is no shared experience, or if it is, it's very, very minuscule.
You're 100% right, Scribe, and I think that might be why they can't create a movie star like a Tom Cruise or a Will Smith anymore, because you don't have this collective type of thing where people like know the same things, right? Like
there's no bottleneck. There's no bottleneck of attention.
Sabrina Carpenter, like I know who you're talking about.
Well, a lot of people know what I'm talking about.
I don't know but that's my question. Do they?
You can quantify that though. That's easy to quantify with music. Is listens and revenue.
Is it anymore though?
Yeah, of course, with Spotify and YouTube.
Yeah. Because this is why Weird Al Yankovic isn't doing too many parodies anymore, because there's no longer monoculture. You have a ton of different people checking into different things at all times, but you no longer have a time when everyone knows this or that song or that movie or that star or whatever. That's over.
No.
Like, for instance, everyone everywhere knew Amish Paradise. Like, for instance, Paul, this person you like, Sabrina Carpenter, is that who you said?
Yep.
Yeah. I have literally no idea who that is.
Well, you know,
And I was
Selena
just going to
Gomez.
say, yeah, well, here's just going to say, well, not Selena Gomez, but let's say, okay, Sabrina Carpenter, she sold over 7 million career album units, according to this. Okay.
Yeah,
Now,
and
how
I'm sure
many-
she's huge amongst a very, very large.
Now let's
number
compare
of
that to
people.
somebody like Taylor Swift, who has sold 200 million records, and she's somebody from 25 years ago. That's my point. Is a music star can't have the penetration they used to. A movie star can't have the penetration they used to, all for the same reasons that Paul and Scribe and I was talking is they just don't. Sure, you can be successful, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but are they going to fill the kind of stadiums like Pink Floyd used to?
No, that's different.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
and Michael
different.
Jackson
And that depends on
Prince.
Beyonce can do that.
But that's my point. Beyonce's an artist from before the streaming times, and that's where I've said that
Right.
streaming like Spotify and all that kind of stuff, it has killed the big pop star, but what it has done is opened the floodgates for the indie stars.
And there's a lot of pop country stars that can fill stadiums that are new relatively in the last 20 years. But I think you're right in regards to movie stars compared to TV stars. Both Jenna Ortega and Pedro Pascal have had equal number of flops this year. And yet we don't think of Jenna as a failed star. But technically she is if we're looking at her movies this year. Major
If this was 30 years
flop.
ago, they would go back to television
But-
and never leave.
Right, but because she's got Wednesday, she's still huge. Oh, okay, go on. All right, I'll shut up.
No. I'm just saying, like, yeah, that's kind of what you're kind of making the point that we're trying to get to. But Ace Camino says, and this is for Paul when he was here. Sorry, we missed him. But Paul, isn't a disaster movies all Disney has been releasing for 5 years? Oh, I'd go even 10 at this point. Shit. Shadow Dancer, the Red Mage is in the house. How you been? Says what? Pamela Anderson had actual acting talent and nobody noticed until now. Well, I know Borat cried because he found out that the love of his life is dating Liam Neeson. So, yeah, they're actually dating. Callum Lyle says the High Republic is canceled. Oh, it was still going.
It was rounding out recently, and nobody cared.
We're talking about the
It's
comics.
Yeah, well, no, I believe the
whole
entire
thing.
multimedia
initiative.
project.
Yeah.
Novels, the whole dinosaurs,
Video
Star
game,
Wars,
comic books. Yeah.
Oh,
The
no
whole nine
wars.
yards.
We don't. You guys, we're not going to have any more Geode. You remember Geode? The Rock.
We never got any Geode.
Oh,
Where's my rock at?
I mean, this is like the equivalent of if a tree falls in the woods and nobody's there to hear it. Does anybody give a shit? No.
it's because the audience, your audience is the greatest. There it is. Nice.
There you go.
oh.
That's a cooler geode.
Hey,
Agreed.
there you go.
Kalima.
Kaliman.
Taliban.
Kalima.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
That looked like one of the rocks from Temple of Doom.
It is.
that's what he was.
You got it. Congratulations, Chris.
Wow.
That's actually from the mold.
I know we need more coffee, Chris, but come on.
I know. Come on.
And so the regular ones were a little different color, but this would be one of the ones where, if I can get my phone here, I can show you.
Tell
they'd
me
have
you're
a
a
little-
gentleman and a film scholar, sir.
They'd have a little light attached to it. So
Oh,
Ooh.
when they would
Oh, look
glow.
at you.
good
yeah.
night.
So there were two different ones.
You always outdo us,
Yep.
nerd.
No, I got that from
fun.
Gary, my good buddy
Yeah,
Gary.
super-
I was about to say, was that a Gary Ambrosia?
It was
special?
definitely a Gary
Yeah.
My
Ambrosia
really good friend
special.
Giddy.
He sent me a rock. I got a rock. Stone Gassman, speaking of stones, says, saw Naked Gun 2025 last night. I laughed 69% of the time.
I like that he measured it.
I know, and can comfortably say it's the finest spoof movie since Naked Gun 33 and a third. There's genuine verisimilitude with the Liam Neeson, Pamela Anderson courtship, as we were just pointing out. That's
I'm
correct.
okay with that.
Cool.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it a
fun.
lot more than I thought I would. Pilgrim Media says, I tried using American Eagle website. It's broken. Are they down? I saw like a bunch of the jeans have already sold out.
Sure.
Oh yeah,
Good
they
for
weren't
them.
ready for this.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yep.
No one
Which
even
is
knew who
funny.
they were 2 weeks ago.
Exactly. Like that's what I was saying, Paulie. They were like the bottom of the barrel. Like even J.C. Penney and all them were bigger than them.
This is one of the most successful advertising campaigns in history, I think.
It is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me tell you.
Opposite of Bud Light, honestly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mirror image.
Interesting.
Imagine that.
But backlash on both sides. In other words, the wokey wokes didn't go buy Budweiser, Bud Light when the backlash happened, but the anti-wokey wokes are going and buying American Eagle. I've seen so many photos on my social media thread of hot to semi-hot to not so hot chicks buying jeans, American Eagle jeans.
I had to watch those commercials a lot last night for research.
Oh, good for you.
And over and over.
And the ad is so tame. I mean, when I
Sure.
first
You
saw it, I
poor
thought
thing.
my sensibilities are still, I guess, stuck in the 80s and the 90s of the ad campaigns back then, because I thought this is controversial. She's fully clad. She's I mean, she's got a little bit of cleavage showing, and this is controversial. Do you guys remember the 90s? Do you remember those old what was it like Tommy Hilfiger commercials and things? Like, are you kidding me?
Come on, you guys know what this is all about.
Oh, I know, I understand.
Come on.
but
This
still.
is about a white girl, a blonde white girl with nice biggies, whatever you want to call them, talking about, having good jeans. That's it, man. And that sets people off, whether they're white, black, brown, fugly, fat, skinny, I don't know what, all colors of the rainbow hair. They don't like that shit.
You know what she
And
needs to do
everybody-
next? She needs to do a milk ad. Milk, it does a body good.
I remember
And
those, yeah.
just wait and see what kind of
better bones.
backlash that one gets. Like, oh my gosh, it's all about eugenics again.
She could just add some milk for you.
Hitler also drank milk.
Yeah.
This makes the Carl's Jr. Ads look
Oh,
like
I remember that
pornography.
now.
I mean, come on.
Oh
But
yeah,
you know,
those are great.
They got in so
Those
much
are great.
trouble for that.
What's really scary is that in recent history there was that shit that went down in regards to eugenics, and and I'm not even talking about PP, Planned Parenthood. I'm talking about other sadistic shit that doctors did to people to women of color in the 50s through the 70s. It is documented that shit happened. But what the fuck does that have to do with this?
Yeah, but for her just to say, I've got
That's
good
what I'm
genes,
saying, Chris.
It's just a play on words about blue jeans and her having good genetics.
No, I'm with you. But
Okay.
what I'm saying, I'm totally with you. What I'm saying, it's like calling everything a Nazi. Yo,
Oh, right.
you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. There was some actual, genocide and tragedies that happened.
Yeah.
And for you to say, eugenics, that really upset me.
But it's
man.
just funny that most of the people who are crying about this ad being a dog whistle for Nazi eugenics don't even know who Margaret Sanger is, but they sure do support what she founded. I mean, it's like she was all about eugenics. That's Planned Parenthood. You probably are give full-throated support to Planned Parenthood. I feel like it's almost like this eugenics is really just the trick for them to have a complaint about a good-looking white broad doing an ad showing off her boobs again. Because I remember people getting mad at Saturday Night Live for her playing up the Hooters role a little bit, right?
Absolutely, man.
It's just
here we have is just in front of our face the example of what America Eagle had before for their ad campaign.
Yeah, that's right.
Compared to now. Okay.
They've lost
now, literally
ground.
just in saving in denim alone, the budget was half.
Well, they charge more for the big girl pants.
That they do, but they still had to pay for them for the commercial.
Well, that's true.
You could fit 3 Sydney Sweeneys in those.
The
maybe.
people that thought the ad on the left are members of are in a culture war. Okay. And
those motherfuckers didn't buy the jeans, Chris. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying they lost ground. This Sydney Sweeney ad, the reason there's so much screeching is it means, wait a minute, we're losing the culture war. We need to get back to body positivity. That's why we had these overweight models on swimsuit, Sports Illustrated. That's why you had a transgender Playboy bunny before they tanked. And of course they came back and they wised up. That's why you had transgender Victoria's Secret models. Everybody's tired of all that.
But okay, I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing at all, guys. But there's always been thick women, and they've always needed big jeans.
You got that right. Yes.
Right. And God bless thick women, man.
Absolutely.
I will. And they've always, bought jeans for decades.
And that's fine. I think the difference is that for the last few years, those were the only things promoted.
Well, no,
that was all.
Right, but you got to add in a much insidious political ideology connected to it.
Exactly.
Right,
that was all you saw.
Right, it's like no, we got thick booties Latinas and black women that need jeans. Do a badass offensive campaign on that. Women will buy that stuff.
Yeah, but the thing is I don't need to see fat dudes in jeans or guys built like me to want to buy jeans. You can put, beefy models, beefcake models in jeans, and I'm not going to go, oh, that's eugenics or whatever, right? I'm not going to be put off because that person is younger, fitter, and better looking than me.
Well, but you're a dude, though.
But even a woman, I mean, people
with women, it's different.
When did we stop wanting to behold beauty? When did that become a thing?
During the
No, I need to
days.
see something that looks more like me, or I'm going to feel victimized. It's
in
ridiculous.
the last 10, 15 years. That's what's happened. And see, here's the thing. It's like they forgot advertising 101 in the process of all this, right?
Yeah.
The whole idea is, and this goes off of what you were just saying, Chris, because I know what Paulie's probably going to say, and he's right. Men, you don't advertise to men that way. Men and women are completely different animals, and this is what they forgot first and foremost by trying to make men and women the same thing. You advertise to them differently. For a man, you want to sell something, you put a hot chick holding on to it and saying, look, if you buy this thing, it will attract this hot lady to you, right? If you want to sell something to a chick, you put a hot chick holding on to it. Why? Because she sees that and she goes, oh, that's going to make me look like that hot chick. So this chick on the left should be seeing the chick on the right going, oh, those jeans are going to make me look like the chick on the right. That's the way advertising 101 fucking works. That was one of the first things they taught us in school when I took the advertising part of my media classes, was that's how advertising works. Men and women, that's how they see things. It's the same thing with kids, right? If you'll notice, like, it's same thing with toys when we talk about that. All the boy toys, they have huge fucking lures to them, right? Why? Because boys love getting into, they want to know everything and anything there is to know about fucking He-Man. If they love He-Man, they want everything to know everything about Transformers if they're into Transformers and so on. Girls, on the other hand, their toys, it's all playing for them. Barbie, you can be anything you want. You can be anything you can be. She can be anything you want her to be. Right? It's the same thing with any of the Pretty Little Ponies and all that shit. They're all set up in a way where the girls can manipulate their hair and their dress and figure out how they want them to look and project themselves onto these things, right? Well, it's kind of the same thing with advertising. It's like you want to show them what they want to be, the idealized version of what they want to be. It's the same thing here.
But it's activism, right?
Yeah,
it's activism. Because
I think that's part of it, Paulie. Go on.
Because everything that's to do with beauty and hair care and fashion is what? It's female.
Yeah.
That's why I love when I see women done up, whether they're thick or small, I don't know what, but from head to toe they're done up with where they got the weave, they got the wigs, they got the bling, they got the jeans, and these ain't skinny ladies. God bless that. I love that. And there's room for it all. The problem is, Chris, like you said, the activists took over. So it's like, how dare you have Sydney Sweeney up there when
that's why they should have bought some fucking jeans, Paulie. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's why
they didn't buy any fucking jeans.
Well, I think who knows? Did American Eagle get some DEI credit line for doing that ad that was on the web?
But it wasn't as much as they're probably making right now.
Well,
they're selling out
exactly.
jeans.
I don't think
they're selling jeans. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sell jeans.
Go backwards. They're selling jeans. And I think that there's a lot of women who are just looking at the ad going, hey, maybe will those jeans make my ass look good or fascist? I don't know. Maybe I should go try some on. So they're getting a lot of attention. Good on them. Sydney Sweeney is now, I'm just really shocked that she's now like one of these Elle Macpherson types, which I didn't see that. I did not.
She's on her way to making herself a thing.
Yeah.
And she's doing it the right way.
Yeah, she's an it girl right now. She ought to be in a James Bond flick.
Well,
She
she's
might
coming out
be.
with the Christy Martin film, so she's an actor, which is
That's
great.
right.
I'm very happy to see that.
And I'm
Not-
saying it one more time. If she had been Red Sonja, that would have been $1 billion.
Yes.
Man. Oh,
Man, it's
That's
missed
why I
opportunity.
threw that in there, Andre. Nice work, sir.
yeah.
But let's keep going here. Yeah. Speaking of Weird Al, I remember his cameo. He had at least had a cameo in Naked Gun. That was.
Doesn't Scribe have to go and Chris, Tommy?
I
Oh,
do. I got a
sorry.
mail.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Chris. And
Yeah.
get
Hey,
yourself
guys,
out
have
of
a great weekend. Good to see you, Paulie, Tom, Andre, Scribe. Always a pleasure. I'm got a lot going on this weekend, but check out bleedingfull.com. We've got that story on the Criterion collection up there. Of course, we're big, really big physical media proponents over at Bleeding Fool. You can also find us on social at Bleeding Fool or me at Chris Brawley. Guys, you are the best, and it is my honor and privilege to share this time with you today.
I'm going to tell you what, Chris, you might want to pay attention. We're going to be dropping some stuff on Freddy Krueger pretty soon. You might be interested
Ooh,
in.
I can't wait. Can't wait.
Co-write up on
Thank you, gentlemen.
No. Oh.
Take care, Chris. Do you have to leave as well, Scribe, or are you still?
I do, yeah, I do, unfortunately. But yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. Last night on TED Excellence, we learned why we should be able to vote via our phones, which was totally not a sales pitch for a product that and this was a TED Talk. This is not a TEDx talk. This was a cream of the crop, top of the heap, #1 intellectual talk. I've watched several arguments on how to fix democracy before. I've seen a couple on how to fix democracy with technology. This was a doozy. So if you're curious about that, it was a fun time last night over on TED Excellence. And then yeah, nice to hang out with you guys and talk about the movies and stuffs. And hope everybody has a good weekend.
Well, hopefully you do too. Didn't you say earlier you got to watch Happy Gilmore 2, or was that Chris? I was thinking
That was me.
It must have been Polly. Yeah, no,
we already knew you saw it. Okay.
But anyway,
No, it was
everybody
when
have
I
a
was
good
asking him
weekend.
about something else, I think. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, take care, guys.
Have fun.
I've seen it a couple times, honestly.
Oh, okay. No, it must have been Chris. Magnus Toth. Go ahead.
I'm gonna slip out too. I just looked at the clock. I got to go pick up Romy from the airport.
Oh, yeah, you won't be on time for that.
You make us late, and then you go make yourself late on top of it.
I know. I'm so sorry, guys. Andre, Tom, love you guys. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Thanks for joining us. Give Romy our regards.
Peace out, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Take care.
Magnus Toth says, how could they miss the opportunity for a good cameo? Sure, I'm a big hero, but do you think any of you know how you can hurt inside Frank? They're not here for you. Weird Al Yankovic is on the plane. Yeah, it was just brought up to me and I forgot. That's right. Weird Al has been in all of the films, all the Naked Gun movies, even this one. So there you go. Pack and Proton says, hey, Skydance, make TMNT great again. Fire Rogan. Yeah, right. Pack and Protons then says, saw F42 might have been canned due to Pedro.
Yeah, where did you see that? I would like to see more information on that. So that's pending confirmation.
Considering we're getting another Wakanda movie, I'm going to press X for doubt on that. I don't think they care about that. And this is their biggest Marvel hit in a while, so it didn't have Spider-Man or Deadpool in it. So yeah,
yeah. So yeah, I'd question that.
Yeah. And then we've got Bass Player 2011. If you says Spotify listens are not indicative of success. Yes, that's what I was trying to say. The current pop stars don't even make a dent in stars. Like, this is what I was trying to say. That's what I was trying to get my point across, was like, yeah, like Michael Jackson, Prince, not even remotely close.
I have a better example for you. I don't know about the States, I would imagine there. But if you go around Europe in summer and you check out the different music festivals, it's the same headliners now as 20 years ago. There's barely any new names. And the new names that there are, like Ghost, have been around for more than a decade as well.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say, is the stuff that my kid's into. He doesn't listen to any modern music. It's all his favorite bands are bands that when I was growing up in my dad's bands. Right? Like, he listens to stuff like Green Day and Linkin Park and Pink Floyd and shit like that, right? Like, nothing new, really. Nothing I would consider new. And then we got Jedi Master, who became a member. Well, thank you for that, Jedi Master. Then Bucky Cat says, you actually had a COVID lefty scolding the lefties, criticizing the AE ad by telling them they needed to wear COVID masks.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, brought out all the crazies, and there was a concerted effort to make people crazy and make them even crazier. So, not surprised by that.
Sorry, I was just trying to do the math on that. Society is ass backwards, says Jedi Master. You're not wrong. And then Jesus Davila gifted 5 memberships, and that brings us up to speed. Was there anything else we had to cover today, Andre?
No, I think that's about it. I'd like to invite you all to check out the video that we dropped earlier today on Sydney Sweeney. Maybe a little bit late to the party, but I was out. Videos being punished pretty severely by the algorithm for having been dropped less than optimal time. So please check that video out and check back over the course of the weekend. We'll have several other videos drop as well.
Indeed. And with that, take care of yourselves and each other.
And it's time to bring out the koalas in the rain.
Koalas in the rain. Koalas in the rain. No fucks given. Koalas